Hello, welcome to this video cast, everyone. This is your meteorologist Matthew Schlegel speaking from 8 States Weather. And I just wanted to do a video about this event because there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of updates, which I didn't mention a couple days ago because of busy schedules and all that. But let's look at the newest National Weather Service advisory maps, and you can see that the National Weather Service offices in Philadelphia, Sterling, Blacksburg, and Central Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia have updated their warning maps, and there's much more winter storm warnings now for a good chunk of the Mid-Atlantic and lower New England states. Winter weather advisories also extend south into Central Virginia, Kentucky, and West Virginia. So let's look at the current radar here, and we can see two different areas of precipitation forming with these two separate low pressure system events. The first low pressure system is pretty much parked over the Delmarva Peninsula and DC Baltimore area, and the second one is forming in the Ohio Valley and is about to swoop south and then form off the Carolina coast and slowly work its way up the coast. The second event here is what we're more worried about at the moment, because this will end up producing a much larger area of snow into our region, which is West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. But the snow should be affecting eastern Kentucky, the northeastern fringes of Tennessee, the western North Carolina mountains, central, western, and northern Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, and also much of West Virginia, including the mountainous eastern terrain of that state. So this area of precipitation is going to work its way east, and it's interesting to see some of the model data has increased some of the snow chances and snow accumulation maps for this event. Let's take you to our newest North American model run, the 18Z. It's drawn these high snow totals further south into Virginia especially. Before, all the snow totals were mainly north of a line from Fredericksburg to Hot Springs, Virginia. And West Virginia got some, as well as a large portion of northwestern Virginia, northeastern West Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. But it's interesting to see these model trends start to draw these lines a little further south. Now, please don't get panicky, because no one's going to get 2 feet from this event. It's just not going to happen. Not this time of year, not from the certain system, and definitely not when it snows during the day when you have temperatures barely clinging to freezing. In January, this would be a much bigger problem when you have colder temperatures, obviously, and higher snow to liquid ratio. But anyway, let's go to the ensemble run of the newest GEFS, or the GFS ensemble. And the ensemble models take the mean model solution from a sample size of around 30 models, and it combines it all into one. So for every 30 GFS model runs, this ensemble picks up, and this is what it's saying. See, it starts snowing in southwestern Virginia very early tomorrow morning, 1 a.m., and that snow starts to spread throughout eastern West Virginia, more into central and northern Virginia. Maryland and northern Virginia start to get hit. And by tomorrow afternoon, the storm system is still churning off the coast, and now it gets close to southern New Jersey by the time 7 o'clock tomorrow hits 7 p.m. And the main thing I wanted to show you from this map was, again, the trend for more snow into the southern central portions of Virginia. And yes, even some of Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach, northeast or north central North Carolina, gets a brief period of snow, but snow regardless. The models weren't saying this before, but they are slowly working their way to the solution now. And here we can see from the newest European model run. Again, that southern line, it wasn't saying 6 to 8 inches of snow over Richmond and almost a foot in Charlottesville before, but it is now. And again, I want to advise you that this map is not correct. These snow totals are going to be less than what you see here, but the general guideline on where the most snow will fall is drawn by these lines. Pretty much take a two-thirds of this total and incorporate that into your snow projection. So instead of 16 inches, Washington, D.C. would most likely see 8 maximum. And let's go into the timing of this event real quickly. And I'll start by using the high rapid resolution refresh model. Go to radar. And we'll start out at the now frame. And it shows what this IntelliCast radar currently showed with snow over Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, and northeastern West Virginia with the first system. And there's now snow in western Kentucky and Tennessee. What happens is that this low pressure begins to strengthen. It goes from Tennessee to southwestern Virginia. It starts to run into some of this cold air being fetched in from a high over Quebec. And you see rain starts to turn to snow for the New River Valley and Yadkin County area in North Carolina. So this snow shield rapidly grows overnight and starts affecting more of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, and northeastern Tennessee. And by morning, early morning, 3 a.m., the rain snow line is pushed well along and east of 95, Interstate 95, and begins to pull further east as we head into the early to mid-morning hours. And this rapid refresh model ends at 9 a.m., so we'll switch over to the NAM radar. And here it shows 9 a.m. it's still snowing pretty good in Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, Maryland, and northern Delaware. And this rain snow line is continuing to retreat even further east the more this system heads up the coast and begins turning winds from east, northeast to north, pulling in the cold air. And by 12 p.m. noon, you can still see that there's very good decent portion of snow over the same areas mentioned before. And then it continues into most of the afternoon with a very slow moving low and a broad, generous precipitation shield to the north and west side of the system. And for most area, according to this model, the snow doesn't end until very early Thursday morning. So we'll have to see if this is right, but this is what the models are generally saying right now. We'll do one more test of the European model and select our significant weather pattern. Let's go ahead and go to Wednesday 1 a.m. And according to this, central, western, and northern areas of Virginia, turn to snow by 1 a.m., which is a lot earlier than some of the previous model runs were saying, which is a big deal, because if you have more snow falling at night in March, odds are the snow totals are going to increase because they're making use of the nocturnal hours. And here it shows snow happening well into the afternoon for our northeastern sector, Baltimore, D.C., Dover, Richmond, still snowing hard at 1 p.m. And it starts to pull away around the evening hours. So different model runs are pretty much showing the same things, with the snow leaving at a later day. So prepare to be inundated by a lot of snow and bad weather conditions, bad driving conditions tomorrow, and just be careful on the roads and your daily commute. I do want to iterate that my snow map made yesterday. Let me pull it up for you real quick. I still think this is a good map because I'm quite skeptical of the new model runs showing more snow. Just unbelievable and incredible snow totals over northern, central, eastern Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. But I will keep this map as it is. I'm not going to make any changes to it, just because you got to be careful with March snowfall events. It's warmer, the sun angle's higher, and there's just a lot more that could go wrong with forecasting higher snow numbers this time of year. But other than that, that is pretty much all I wanted to show you today. And you folks take care. I'll be back in a later update. Goodbye for now.